I survive this? And I very much doubt it. Then I will bear witness to everything that I experience. Not, however, by a personal record, but in an objective, scholarly form. Apart from that, I will now give artistic expression to my experiences as best I can. A secular Jew, a Holocaust survivor who wrote in German, Hans Gunther Adler was an author who refused to be categorized. He was compared by critics to Kafka, Joyce, and Musil, and the 26 books he wrote included fiction, poetry, philosophy, and history. From the Journey, translated by Peter Filkins. Driven forth, certainly, yet without understanding, man is subjected to a fate that at one point appears to consist of misery, at another of happiness, then perhaps something else, but in the end, everything is drowned in a boundlessness that tolerates no limit, against which, as many have said, any assertion is a rarity, an island in a measureless ocean. Therefore, there is no cause for grief. Also, it's best not to seek out too many opinions, because by linking delusions and fears to which we are addicted, strong views keep you constantly drawn to what does not exist, or even if it did, would seem prohibited. So you find yourself inclined to agree with this or that notion, the emptiness of a sensible or blindly followed bit of wisdom, until you finally become aware of how unfathomable any view is, and that one is wise to quietly refrain from getting too involved with the struggles to salvage anything from the rubbish heap. Life's course demanding this of us already. We are often reproached for the passivity of our beginning, of how reluctant we were to bring matters out into the open. But we cannot blame ourselves for our own expulsion, for that would imply that we wanted to give up. Thus, we begin our search for a resting place ever anew, driven perhaps by an insatiability that in the end defines us. We are the heralds of life. The previously drawn analogy between the journey and peace becomes nothing but an analogy unto itself the moment we apply it to practical terms, becoming invalid in the world at large, because now everything appears to be in motion, and indeed transforms itself entirely through motion. With good reason, one could speak of a passion or obsession that would sweep others along with us, insofar as we are able to capture the living breath of our experience in motion. For indeed, we are our own creation. Whether we are denied or accepted at our final end, when one must answer for oneself, much more depends, namely the flourishing of a world that out of its deepest despair and highest aspirations is called upon its form, its own, in a certain sense, eternal countenance amid the destruction of our only meaningful and yet impalpable achievement, one accomplished in and for itself without the participation and help of the world at large. One thing must be made clear. If we assert that we have suffered a great deal, by that we cannot and do not wish to set ourselves off from the world, which in itself experiences nothing but suffering. Yet in a readiness to embrace this suffering, we do not allow ourselves to sink further into the horror through which we cannot help but walk. No, we are not lost, even when we assert our loss. In fact, the many losses that we alone, for the most part, and with our humble powers, cannot make up for. But we have set ourselves on the stage. There, as elsewhere, we wish to appear alone. Although we are not forsaken, we are never forsaken. And so we wish to walk on or not walk at all. For whether or not we walk on or make any progress is certainly not up to us, nor anyone else. And so allow us to exist, whether it be in the perpetual motion that brings peace, whether it be in memory that ventures towards peace, either ahead or behind, whether it be in flight. One speaks of a fleeting nature of appearances. So let us exist in appearances and remain constantly in motion. Indeed, since our eyes are open and suffering is not all we experience but also life, allow us to grant this ever-changing existence, so full of memory, its only proper name, the journey.